With that being said, I'm excited for you guys to hear from Mr. Sean Kelly. Sean, over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Chris. Are you able to be co-host, or can you assign someone as co-host who could handle the unmuters?
I am going to be on here, but if I have it I'm on my phone. So for me to go back and forth and find them all, it just takes me a second. But I mean, I could do it unless somebody wants to do it from the computer. It's either way.
Peter and Carmela are on. They might be able to help out.
Peter, Carmela, do y'all want to help out?
We would be honored to help Sean. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I can't.
I just throw them right under the bus.
Okay, I can't button here. Hold on, I'll turn it over to them because I can't find the mute all right now on my phone. Let me see. All right, there they are. They were at the top of the page and they went to the bottom.
We were hiding.
All right, I'm going to make you guys host. Now you'll be able to mute all and make the audio mute. All right, over to you, Sean Kelly.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you all for spending your Saturday morning with me today. My name is Sean Kelly, and I'm fairly new to this industry. I think it's been about 19 months since I was introduced to network marketing. So it's been a wild ride. I've learned a lot, and happy to be able to come in here and give you some tips and tricks. Now, full disclosure, anything I'm about to say, oh, can we grab the naughty unmuter? So everything I'm about to say is something that, you know, if I throw out anything that you're not already doing, anything that seems different from what you're being taught, just talk to your upline and you guys could come to that happy medium. Just gonna share with you what I'm up to, and you gotta chew up the meat and spit out the bones. So it won't all be for you, you know what I mean? Anyways,
baby.
So we're gonna have a lot of naughty unmuters as we start out here, just as everybody's logging on. But I'll do best I can to keep moving forward. If you come on, just try to make sure you mute yourself.
Hey, Peter, if you press mute all, it should have a mute as they come on. But I couldn't find the button for my phone.
So I'm going to jump right into the 4-step system. We have a simple 4-step system.
Sorry, Sean, I unmuted you. I muted you because I muted all.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to jump right into the 4-step system. We have a very simple system here, and you know, after you do it over and over and over again, you're going to be doing it without even realizing you're doing it. It becomes like second nature. And what it is step number 1 is to use the happy products and be happy. So what that means is you're going to choose your product. You're going to feel the effects, especially when you use these products 60 to 90 days consistently. I'm not saying it's going to take you that long, but anybody who's on these products 60 to 90 days consistently has a story of how it really helped them, how it transformed some part of their life. So that's the first step, is just to use the products and be happy. Then you're just going around life being a product of the product. And it really stands out right now. When you walk into a room, there's a certain energy that you're bringing into the room. If you're using these products, you're more positive, your glass is half full, you have plenty of energy, you seem like sharp and focused. And a lot of people are going to be asking you about what you're up to or what you're doing. And just to give you an example, I was at this like fitness type of appointment the other day, and she had noticed my energy, and she saw me taking a capsule, and she wanted to know what I'm doing, and she wanted to get on the same type of regimen. She's like, "Can we sit down and talk about what you're up to and what you're using? Because, you know, I want some of whatever you're taking." So That's step number one. Drink coffee or drink happy products, be happy. Step number two is share your story. So what did I do with that lady who asked me? Right away, I just jumped in and shared my story. So everybody's story is going to be different, but basically, without vomiting on someone, a quick version of what these products did for you. And, it might have been like, also, there might be a financial aspect to it where you were able to take your kids to get Disneyland, or you were able to pay your car payment, or I had one partner of mine was just able to pay her mortgage for the first time with the Happy Company. It's just that's a powerful story. So share your story. Step number three is you're going to connect them to a tool. So for most people, you're going to have some type of customer group. So as soon as possible, you want to be friends with them on Facebook. You want to invite them to the group and get them in that group. And you're going to basically figure out what they're looking for. So are they looking for 10 pounds of weight loss? Are they dealing with a lot of stress? Also, focus is another one that is, a lot of people are looking for more focus. So many people don't want to admit it, but they're dealing with mild depression because of the past year and a half that we've had. So even to this day, I could share with you guys that when I drink my happy coffee in the morning, I notice a difference. I notice that mood lift, and it's in a natural way not the prescription way, So I could feel my mood increase, my mood boost, and I become more optimistic, and I'm going to conquer the day, and I just feel it, and it's just amazing feeling. So so connect them to a tool, figure out what they are looking for, and then tag them in a couple posts in your customer group that's relevant. You can connect them to a tool. If they're not on Facebook, just go in your group and screenshot a couple testimonials and then text message them to them and follow up. So that's another way, because not everybody's on Facebook, obviously. And then the fourth step is to pass the ball. So if you're on a basketball court and you're about to take a shot in a game and you had Michael Jordan on your team, wouldn't it be better to pass the ball to Michael Jordan and have him take the shot? So that's what passing the ball is all about, is getting someone on there. That way they get that social proof, they get someone else's perspective. Then you could edify. Let's say it's Chris Schweda. I could edify Chris Schweda. I could share a couple tidbits about his story and then pass the ball to him, and then he's going to make that shot. And repetition over time, you're going to have more and more customers join your team. You're going to have more and more distributors join your team. So just keep doing those 4 steps over and over and over, and it's going to progress over time. Another thing, so that's basically part of my daily routine, is I want to find, what your number might be: 2 people a day, 5 people a day, 10 people a day, whatever your number is. You want to do these 4 steps as many times as you can in a day. And that's basically the daily method. And then as far as happy birthdays, what I've been doing is going in the day before. If you go into Facebook and you scroll down to the recent birthdays, and then you go through that, you'll see whose birthday it is tomorrow. So what I've been doing personally is I'll wish people a happy birthday the day before their birthday, because I know that on their birthday, they're going to get hundreds of messages. So you're not really going to stand out. I was doing like 3 days after the birthday, and yeah, I kind of stood out, but people are like kind of burnt out by birthday messages by then. So I've been doing the day before, and literally people I've never met, because I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. And don't you know that I'm the first person that's wishing these people a happy birthday, because I do it at like 6 a.m. the day before their birthday. So I could guarantee you I'm the first person. And so over a year's time, think about it, 365 days, I have touched all 5,000 of my friends with that day before happy birthday. And I just say, hey, I like to be the first person to wish my FB friends a happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing day tomorrow. Is there anything special you have planned, or is it just another day? So I'm finishing it with a question, and I'm going to start engaging with people from that. And I'm going to go from a ghost to someone, a lot of these people that are my Facebook friends I don't know, and that's going to start planting the seeds and getting that relationship going. So that's one thing I do. And then let's see here. I'm going to back up a second and just share my story real quick. So I was like from the age of like 8 years old to like 25 years old, I was in a very dark place and a rough childhood, in my opinion. And you know, there was times in my life where I was homeless and just all kinds of darkness I don't have to get into. But regardless, when I was 25 years old, I came out of it. I somehow managed to not have a police record. I had a squeaky clean record at 25 years old, so I decided I was going to go become a police officer. I love to help, serve people, so I got hired, became a police officer, and I was a police officer for the past 15 years. I never thought, if you had talked to me 2 years ago, I would think that you're a liar if you'd say that I'd get involved in any type of sales, any type of network marketing. It just, had experiences with people in the past where I was just totally turned off by the idea, and I just never thought it would happen. Well, about 4 years ago, I was attacked by some undesirable guy that didn't want to go back to prison, and he put me in the hospital, and I got a really bad head injury, and then that triggered PTSD to become like 10 times as worse. So the last 4 or 5 years have been a struggle for me cognitively, and depression, anxiety, and all these things. So I continued to be a police officer because we ignored the injury. Like my boss just said, you know, don't be a wussy, get back to work. And I just listened to him and kept moving forward and kept on going downhill. So I went into diet and exercise, like, oh, maybe diet and exercise will make me feel better. And I tried it and I tried it and I went way over the top with it and it wasn't helping. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I add in some supplements. So I spent thousands of dollars on like 100 different supplement companies, and I wasted so much money. And you know, a lot of supplement companies out there are BS. So, but then all of a sudden, and this is what you guys got to remember when you're doing Facebook. There was a girl, Kiri Richardson, who did a Facebook post about this happy coffee. And she just said, oh, you know, this stuff is amazing. It got me off my anxiety meds. And I'm like, okay, well, here's some more BS. And here's me wasting some more of my money. But I reached out to her and basically had her send me a sample. Now, I did not know her. She did not know me. And this is like 19 months ago. So think about that. You could have me, someone who's not working this business full time, just reach out to you for a sample. If you're doing that activity and advertising your business on Facebook, just don't forget that. I know that it's not going to happen in the first week. It might not happen in the first year, but just keep on showing up and making sure your business is open on Facebook, because it does happen. So now Kiri, you know, is making a nice chunk of money every month. And obviously she worked for it because she helped me get to where I am now. But that's a nice residual income she's going to be getting forever, because I'm just one of those people who will never quit. So keep on showing up on Facebook. So I kind of lost my spot there, but so basically she sends me the sample, and then it's like, I just felt progress. I felt relief. I felt like the depression, the anxiety, everything was like, not that it just fixed such a major situation, but it was progress and it felt great. So I jumped on board and got a $500 pack, and I started sharing it with everybody. And the 4 steps, I was using the products and being happy. I was sharing my story. I was inviting people to Facebook group, connecting with the tool, and I was getting people on the phone with my upline, excuse me. And then nothing really happened the first 3 months, because I wasn't on Facebook, because as a police officer, you know, you're not supposed to be on Facebook because there's people that, you know, want you dead and things like that. And so anyways, I started a Facebook and I got my friends up, and I was working really hard and got my friends up to like 5,000 friends in the first 3, 4 months. And not a lot was happening. And, that's what happens to so many people as you're getting started. You can't get discouraged. And if you don't have your first customer in the first couple months, you can't get discouraged if you can't find a business partner in the first couple months, because so many people pop up on Facebook and are like, oh, look at my products. And then for like 3 months, they're just blasting their products all over social media, and then they disappear. So now people are kind of trained like, okay, I wonder if this person is another one of those people. And that's what they were doing to me, because no one was liking my posts, no one was commenting on my posts, but there was so many people watching. So all of a sudden, month 4, month 5, all these people started coming out of the woodworks and saying, hey, I've been watching you all along and I want to become a customer. Hey, I've been watching you all along and I want to do what you're doing. And so then a certain amount of my customers, like say 20% of my customers, wanted to become a distributor because I stuck with the system. They're like, Sean, I could drink coffee and be happy. I could share my story. I could invite people to a Facebook group and I could pass the ball to you. You're not doing anything I can't do. So I'd like to do what you're doing. So then all of a sudden, my business started to grow. And I want to stop right there and say, don't think that that was like, it was just the sky's the limit from there and it was all rainbows and butterflies. No, no, but at least my business was lifting up off the ground and starting to grow. And then I just stayed consistent. I kept on showing up on Facebook, kept on showing up in my stories, doing a lot of like belly to belly, like face to face sharing. So fast forward to a few months ago, I was able to retire from my police job. And this is a huge, huge thing for me because I was suffering, because it's like I was stacking more trauma and more trauma on top of more trauma. And I was like dying inside. And, I was in a circle of people, like not all police are bad. I'm not saying that, but I was in a circle that was like a dark circle. And it was just weighing me down. And there was no understanding about PTSD, head injuries. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that whole thing. Bottom line is, I was able to say, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice and I'm not going to stay another 16 years like I was supposed to get my full pension. And just packed up and walked away. So just an amazing story that you could share with people of what's possible if you're consistent for 19 months straight. I mean, and it might not be a different number for you. Some people who have been in the industry for 10 plus years, it doesn't take them 19 months to do what I did because they did their time. They went through their first 19 months at some point. And so you don't want to compare yourself to other people. But so yeah, if you share stories, like, because you might not have a financial story yet, well, share my story. Like, how there's this police officer for 15 years. He never thought he would do this either. He never had the time. He's got little kids. And he managed to, with his extra time in between things, grow a massive business. So, pick a couple stories, cherry pick a couple stories from your business and share them until you have your own financial story. Let's see. So let's jump into the mental garbage. So you're going to have mental garbage kind of coming in your head. And what I've been doing is literally like taking the mental garbage and just throwing it away. So basically, I'll hear a story like, okay, Sean, you're not enough to do this. You're not going to be successful. You might as well just quit. And I take that mental garbage and throw it away. And then there's all these fears and all this, as you go through the roller coasters in this industry, the roller coasters of the economy, you're going to get all these stories like, oh, this person, don't talk to this person. They're going to tell you no, they're going to make fun of you. Just take that mental garbage and throw it away. So just try to get in the habit of all those thoughts, those limiting thoughts, just grab them and throw them away. And if you get in the habit, it's like building a muscle over time. And I'm making progress in this area. So just remember, comparison speaking of mental garbage, comparison is the thief of joy. So if you have been in the business 19 months and you're like, well, I've been in the business 19 months and I haven't become at the level that Sean Kelly's at. That's just more mental trash. Grab it and throw away, because everybody's on a different journey. You know, I'm a Christian. I love all of you, whether you're a Christian or not, but I'm a Christian and I believe that, you know, I'm just on a journey. God's leading my journey, and he might have put me in front of someone that took off my business, and you might not meet that person for 3 more years. That really takes your business to the next level, or the 5 people. You know, everybody's on their own journey, so don't compare yourself to others. When I first came in, I was like, oh, look at this person. They became a diamond in 2 months. What am I doing wrong? You know, and then you start making stories in your head, and just mental garbage, throw it away. When you're driving a car, so this is more mental garbage. When you're driving a car, do you look in the rear view mirror? And the answer is no. You're looking ahead, you're looking through the windshield, and that's what we need to do in the business. And that's what I have to do in my business. So just all that stuff in the past that is giving you these limiting beliefs, telling you can't do it, you got to take that mental garbage, throw it away. When you want to talk to someone who's on your chicken list, someone you think, oh, they're not going to be interested, they're too successful. Believe me, those are the people that you need to talk to, because believe it or not, a lot of those people are the people that are actually interested. I was having a conversation the other day, and I'm just like thinking this guy was going to have judgments against network marketing. And I think he picked up on, like, there was some tone in my voice that was like, almost like, yeah, I'm in network marketing. And, you know, not literally, but he's like, just so you know, that I know a lot of people that are very successful in network marketing, and it's a very amazing thing. And I'm just, all of a sudden, I'm having this conversation with this guy who I thought would have no interest, and it turns out he is interested. It's just crazy how there's just so much mental garbage, and try to become aware of it, identify it, and throw it away. Now, there's the 5-second rule from Mel Robbins. So the 5-second rule, like, let's say you're going to go into some house or store, or you know the manager of some restaurant, and you're going to share your story with them. You know, your mind will try to talk you out of it. So the Mel Robbins 5-second rule is just to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off, and go in and just do it. And when you count 5 backwards to 0, it shuts off that part of the brain that's telling you you're not enough, that they're not interested, that all that crap. Just do the 5-second rule, pick up the phone and call the person. And don't leave any time in between, because then you're just creating that spot for them to say, oh, don't do it. You're going to this, you're going to that. So remember the 5-second rule. Remember that it's easier to keep customers than it is to find one. Excuse me. So what I mean by that is, I learned the hard way that I was like running forward, trying to find new people, find new customers. And then I was neglecting my customers. And I was wondering why people weren't reordering. And it was part of my journey of learning that I need to give these people a good level. I know that once you get to like hundreds of customers, you're not going to be able to spend an hour on the phone with each one of them, but have your active customers list somewhere, not just in your back office, but somewhere in your view, in your kitchen, on your fridge, by your desk, and go through that like once a week or like twice a month and say, who haven't I not talked to in a while? And what I've been doing is offering to be their free, health coach / accountability buddy. And again, we can't be on the phone with them a ton, but hey, how's your water consumption doing? Okay, let's work on that. How is your nighttime snacking doing? You want to lose this, you want to burn this 10 pounds of fat, but if you're nighttime snacking, then your digestive system is like slowing down, going to sleep, and then you throw in this huge meal right at nighttime, and you ruined your progress for the day. So what can we do about that nighttime snacking? How about a cup of chamomile tea or some unwind. You want some samples of the unwind? I'll be happy to send you some of that. And after you do your chamomile tea or your unwind, you brush your teeth. And then right after your teeth are brushed, that's a signal to your brain you are done eating for the day, whether it's at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whenever that is for you. So I'm giving these little health tips and tricks to my customers, helping them get to their goals. And then some customers just want to be left alone, and I could take a hint. They just want the product. They don't want to hear my health tips and tricks, and that's fine. So you'll get a feel for who wants that attention and that support and who doesn't. But if you lose a customer because they quit on themselves, that's something we can't control. Like, some people are just not ready mentally, and they are going to find something wrong with your product. And they're going to say, oh, I knew it. It didn't work. Or, oh, it did this. Or, oh, I got a zit. It was the happy coffee that gave me that zit. And they're going to find, there's that small percentage, they're going to find something, they're going to quit. Just move them to the side, pray for them, wish them nothing but the best, and keep moving forward. But just don't lose customers because of your own neglect, if possible. So what else do I have here? So people are always going to be coming and going from your business. And if you're just getting started, you may not have your first business partner yet, but as you get a couple years into the game, you're going to notice there's always people coming into your business, and there's always people leaving your business. Again, they might have gotten distracted by a shiny object, and they might have left for another company. They might have said, oh, this whole network marketing thing doesn't work. You can't just give them the support and know that you did your best. And this is the same thing I tell my son, like if he's playing baseball or taking a test, just know that you did your best with the people that come onto your team. And that's the thing, is I've had plenty of people leave my business, but I know, I mean, I've had to learn some lessons of not doing my best, but I know recently, like, some people are going to leave, and you know what? I did my best. I really tried to help that person, and there's all different reasons why people are going to leave. And so I'm not saying it's easy, but just know that there's some personal development needed in this game. And in the last 19 months, I have worked a ton on personal development. I'm not saying make your whole day personal development, but at least 30 minutes a day, whether you're doing an audio book, or you're getting coaching, or whatever you're doing. Just remember, there's a 24-month rule. And this is what you want to tell your people, so that way they don't have unrealistic expectations. So the 24-month rule, I got this from Bo Short. By the way, our CEO, Bo Short, is just the most phenomenal speaker in person. I'm so excited for you guys to meet him when hopefully we have some type of convention this fall. I mean, we have a very powerful leader with integrity, and he is going to take this place to the moon. So one of the things he said is the 24-month rule. If you show up consistently for 24 months in this business, you're going to be happy you did. You're going to have a solid business. You're going to have a thriving business. And then think about all the personal development along the way. So you're going to grow as a person. Your business is going to grow. But here's the catch. If life happens one month and you have a family emergency, or like, let's say I kind of fall into like a funk, a depression one month, or it could be so many different things. Your full-time job goes crazy and you neglect your happy company for a month. So many things could happen, but you have to start your 24 months over. You can't just say, well, I've been going 24 months. It's like, no, you didn't. You took this month off here, and then you did this here. And it's very important. And I have to be accountable myself. So this month, I'm starting a new 24-month run, because I'm realistic. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and make excuses about 2020, but we just have to face the facts that, the pandemic, all the stuff that has happened, it has made this network marketing industry, very difficult. And there was a lot of people falling off because people are dealing with so many struggles right now. And it's not like a thriving environment that the US is in right now. So I'm not going to make excuses, but I'm going to be realistic and say, you know what? I'm starting even though I have volume, I have partners, I have customers, but I'm starting at ground zero right now. And I'm starting a new 24-month run. And I'm going to show up consistently for 24 months and mark my words that I will be an ambassador in this company just because I won't pay attention to the shiny objects. I won't, jump to another company. I won't blame the company. So as people are leaving, some people are saying, "Oh, well, you know what? I did this company for like a year and a half, and I really tried, and it just doesn't work." And I'm just, you can't really talk someone out of that mindset. Everybody's on their own journey, but the way that I see it is we cannot use 2020 as an example saying the happy company doesn't work, this industry doesn't work. You got to basically take 2020 and just throw it away and, hey, we stayed afloat, we're still moving forward, and let's just be thankful for that. So, or if you're looking for evidence that this business doesn't work, you could find it. If you're looking for evidence that the happy company sucks, you could find it. It's whatever you focus on, just like a customer with our products. If they're looking for something, a reason to not like our products, they could find it. But if they're looking for the good, they're going to see the good and they're going to keep moving forward. So that's what I'm doing with this business. I'm just focusing on the good. I truly believe in the CEO, in the company, in the products, and where we're going globally. So let's see here. So one more thing on personal development, there's a book called The Big Leap, and that talks about your upper threshold. So when you hear about like someone who becomes a millionaire from the lottery and then they end up committing suicide or they lose it all within a month, it's because they weren't ready for that upper threshold. So in The Big Leap, it teaches about how to break through to get to the next level, because all the work I've been doing these last couple of years on myself, I am now ready to become a millionaire. And I'm not going to be the Lamborghini millionaire. I'm going to be the millionaire that's giving, loving, serving, and just finding so much joy from that. And so Matt Skinner, he gave me a lot of coaching. He's my life coach, and I got a lot of coaching from him the past couple of years, and it really helped me break through to the next level, along with all the Audible books and along with the Mindset Mondays that Chris Schweda does. And along with, I did a social media training that I actually paid for that really helped me a lot. And you got to invest in yourself. If you don't have the money, then find someone to borrow you a book. There's always a way to invest in yourself and continue to grow. So right now, let's see. I'm going to give you a couple examples of a lot of people want to know, how did you get your business partners? So I'm going to walk you through a couple examples. And one of them is, no, wait one second. Before I do that, I'm going to tell you a couple things I do to grow my business. You know how some people grow their business on Facebook? They're social media people. And they just want to, they're kind of, might be introverted, or they might have little kids and they can't leave the house, and they build their business on Facebook. That's one thing I do. And I'm not a big Facebook guy anymore. So I do Facebook. I keep my business open, but I'm not putting a ton of time there. Then another way to do your business is what Bo Short taught, which is the practice. And you may or may not be open to doing this, but what it basically is you walk up to, like I was at LA Fitness the other day. And as I'm walking out of the LA Fitness, I just said to the guy at the front desk, "Hey, how's it going at LA Fitness? Do you like your job?" And his name was Hunter. He said, "No, not really. I'm just going to school, working here." I'm like, "Yeah, I totally get what you mean. So just so you're aware, I'm looking to expand my business in this area. And I was wondering if you could help me with something. Do you know anybody who's like the go-getter type, an entrepreneur that might be open to multiple streams of income, someone who's open to making an extra $1,000 a month or so on top of what they're already doing? Do you know anybody like that?" And Hunter said, me. So then I got Hunter's name and his phone number. Okay, then that is the same thing. Now I have a name and a phone number. That's the same thing like Facebook. When you do a Facebook curiosity post and someone says, what is it? I'm open to it. Well, that's basically getting a name and a number. Or you could do the face-to-face, the bow short approach, which is the practice. And I've been having a lot of success with getting names and numbers through the bow short practice. So, and again, if you're looking for a reason like to say it doesn't work, if you're looking for some thing like, oh, you know what, I did it 10 times and it didn't work. I did it 20 times and it didn't work. Do it 100 times. And some people will, get 10 customers out of it and 3 brand partners out of 100 times. Some people will get 30 brand partners and 20 customers. Some people will only get 1 brand partner, but it's going to work, and you're going to get better and better and better each time you do that 100 times. And what I suggest is going outside of the town you live in, if possible, and try it out. Who cares what the people 2 towns over, the barista at Starbucks thinks of you? I got a news flash for you. 5 minutes after you do the practice and ask her that question, she's back to thinking about herself, her own problems, her own life. You are out of the picture. So don't worry about, it's basically you're just asking directions to a person who's open to making extra money. Instead of asking directions to where is Walmart, you're asking for directions to someone who's open to making extra money. They might tell you about their brother, or they might tell you that they're interested themselves. So we got the Facebook approach, the bow short, the practice approach. Then I'm in a lot of business groups and Bible studies and things like that, where I'm meeting people. And so if you have any business groups, and I'm not saying join a church just to prospect people, but my goal is to authentically build relationships. I love people. I want to become friends with them. I want them to mentor me. I want to surround myself with people that are thriving and growing. And if you try to play it safe and go to the gas station clerk, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the gas station clerk, but if it's like a toxic person who's always down and always broke, that's not where you want to go, because you want to go up and grow these relationships of people who are where you want to be. And as I develop these relationships, I'm not looking for, as the person has a dollar sign on their head. I want to develop an authentic relationship with, and this is the slower process, by the way, the developing relationships. But if you do a little bit of all of them, it works out. So let's say I develop 50 new relationships this year through small groups, through Bible studies, through all that. Some of those people are going to end up joining my business. Some of those people are going to want to become a customer and do the 90-day challenge of using our products for 90 days. And some won't, but I still got a relationship out of that, so I didn't lose anything. So that's another thing. So the Facebook way, the bow short way, the business groups and church groups and whatever kind of groups you're into. And then there's the living life category, where when I go to get a haircut, when I go to get my oil change, when I go to a gym, when I go out to dinner, I go to a wellness clinic for different wellness therapies. I'm doing the 4 steps. I'm on the product, I'm sharing my story, connecting to a tool, and I'm passing the ball. So there's another category. Just as you're living life, when you're a customer of somebody, they're willing to listen to you. When you're just about to tip a waitress, they're going to listen to you for a quick minute before you tip them, because if they don't listen to you, they're going to think in their head, I got to be polite to this person as they share their story, because they're about to give me a tip. And I'm not saying hold up a busy waitress, but just really quick, share your story. So I just explained a couple different avenues. If you're wondering, well, how do I meet people? I live in a small town. Do you know how many people in this business who are making multi-6 figures a year who are from a small town with 300 people? There's a lot of them. So you can't use, if you're looking for an excuse, 100% you'll find it. But you can't use an excuse like I'm from a small town, or I don't know anybody, or I already burned up my warm network. from my last company that ended up being kind of bogus. I'm talking about all new relationships, all new people that I'm going at in 5 different ways. Now, you might just want to pick one way and go really heavy on it. But how I work is I just do all 5, but not as heavy on one specific topic. And I'm planting 1,000 seeds and I'm keeping this funnel full. So basically, some people are going to leave my business, some customers are going to quit, but the funnel's full. Here comes more, here comes more, here comes more. And then I'm going to find more and more people like me that want to run with this business and have big dreams like me. Like I've been in poverty. Um, I've never had like that bank account. I've never my parents' parents, like talking generations of people that are just broke as a joke, barely able to, just food and shelter, and that's it. I want to break that cycle and I want to take my family to the next level and leave a lasting legacy that's going to alter their futures and their kids' futures. And, we're talking about and giving, loving, serving. Oh, your friend, they can't make their mortgage. Guess what? You're going to jump in and you're going to be able to pay their mortgage. You're going to be able to take their family to Disneyland because they can't afford it. You want their kids to experience that. This kid, I know doesn't have a dad and his mom is a junkie. Well, they let us pick him up whenever we want. So I'm going to show this kid another world. I'll show this kid Disney World, take this kid traveling, show this kid the love of God. And this business is my vehicle that's going to get me there. So it's all about consistently showing up over time. Now, before we go, I just want to give you a couple examples of, how do you find customers? How do you find business partners? I just want to give you a couple random examples. So there is a girl named Inger Friend. And so she's just like this amazing human, like she's a health coach. She's a Christian just like me. So we had a lot of common, and I'm friends with her husband. And I just looked at her like, there's no way this girl will join my business, but I got to at least give her a sample. So I never really mentioned sampling in this training. So I'm going to show you the power of sampling right now. So then I went to Inger. I had given her a sample. She loved the sample, and I did the follow-up. So important. Don't hesitate to follow up and get with your upline about that proper follow-up process. And so Inger became a customer, and she liked the product, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. She likes the product. So then I reached out one day and I'm like, hey, do you want to share this with other people? Because I know you have a heart that wants to help others, and you're an influential person, maybe not in her eyes, but in my eyes, she's just like absolutely amazing. And she has so much, she's going huge places in this company. And she's like, okay, well, she had been approached by like a million things in the past. And she tried, like me, she tried hundreds of companies, and she dabbled in network marketing, but never really to that level of really putting her all into it. So then obviously she never had success with network marketing. So she just like, yeah, very hesitant, very skeptical that she would ever want to do anything like this. But did I give up? No, I checked in on her, customer care, and then I approached her and she said, okay, I will go in for the discounts. I'll become a distributor for the discounts. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. She's a distributor, yay! So then 6 months goes by, 8 months goes by, she wants nothing to do with the business. And this is how consistency, and she sees, well, Sean's not quitting. Sean's still showing up. Sean's building a business. Sean's retiring from his police job. And then all of a sudden she starts, working the business. And this is a long time consuming thing sometimes. Sometimes it's quicker, but I'm just giving you some examples. And now, like, fast forward to now, it's like, I don't know if it was last month or the month before, where she had doubled her mortgage payment. Like, she made enough in 1 month to pay her mortgage twice. And she's just like blown away, like, wow, this works. And she's starting to see her potential, and she's starting to get out of her own way. And now the sky's the limit as far as her becoming an ambassador. Her husband could keep his job a couple years down the road, like a year or two down the road, if she does that 24 months consistently I was talking about, her husband at that point will be able to keep his job, work part-time, or whatever, but he won't be owned by his boss anymore. And that's going to be a freedom thing for their family. And I'm just so excited about what's going to happen there. So that's just a, don't be scared to talk to a person like Inger. Don't be afraid to sample. Don't be shy about following up. Be patient, that it might take a long time. And then here you go, Inger's, one of the future ambassadors in this company now. So I just want to give you that example. Another example is my life coach, Matt Skinner. When you talk to people, when you go to get a haircut, when you go to get a life coach or whatever you're doing, of course you have in mind like, wow, that'd be cool if they joined my business. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to try to sample them. But I'm not attached to the outcome anymore. I've learned a lot where you got to keep that funnel full and don't be attached. If Matt Skinner joins me or if he does not join me, I'm going to do the 4 steps and know that I did it, but not be attached to the outcome. He may or may not join me, but either way, I'm happy he's in my life. He's helping me so much. And it's just, and I think Matt Skinner felt that I wasn't attached to the outcome. And I wasn't even thinking about him as a business partner, to be honest with you, even though obviously I would love that. And then all of a sudden, one day, so this is another example of getting a business partner. Is all of a sudden, one day, the samples sat around for, I don't know, months. And all of a sudden, one day, he's like, sign me up as a customer. I'm going to try it. And then his wife, who wouldn't even take the sample, I tried to invite her to my Facebook group multiple times. I just stayed consistent on them. And finally, his wife's like, okay, I'll try it. And the first time she tried it, she didn't really like it. I think it was a taste thing or something like that. Well, then a few months later, she actually tried it and liked it. So then I'm still getting coaching from him. We still have that brotherhood going. And we're fast forward like 6 months from then, he reaches out to me and says, you know what? I'm running my coaching business, but multiple streams of income is always a good thing. I'm going to just, run this as a little side business. And then his wife, Amber, stepped in and started working the business like full time now. And so now she's like the massive person behind the operation, but Matt's helping with all these leads, and they just become this dream team that is going to be future ambassadors of this company. And so it's just so exciting that this was, I think it was like a 1.5 year long process. And now Matt and Amber are just thriving in the business. And it's just a beautiful thing when you have a couple like that like, with Matt with his multiple businesses, but Amber's just the happy co. So that way that they're able to really not let any of the balls drop, and they're doing the proper follow-ups, and they're keeping their customers. And then Matt Skinner and Amber, they reach out to one of their friends in Colorado named Clarence. And so Clarence, Matt led me to Clarence. And now Clarence, when you eventually meet Clarence, he'll be doing trainings here within the next year, I'm sure. But Clarence is just this guy who's just like a complete rock star. And by the way, if you're on my team, I'm not mentioning you. I'm just throwing out a couple that just pop in my head. Don't be offended if I don't mention you. But Clarence is this guy he's just so determined. He's so amazing that he's going to be an ambassador in this company. I have zero doubt. And so if I wasn't consistent with Matt Skinner, if I didn't give up. I just kept on dripping on him. And then now Matt and Amber led me to Clarence. And now guess who Clarence is going to lead me to? Thousands of people. So just don't give up on the long game. Don't tell yourself, well, you know what? I've been doing this business for 1.5 years. It's not really working. It's taking time away from my family, or whatever your reason is. You could find a reason if you're looking for it. But you can't use 2020 as an example. So if you're on this training and you've been in the past 1.5 years, just know that you can't really use 2020 as an example to, does this business work? Is Happy Coffee the real happy company, the real deal, can't use 2020. It's like we're all kind of starting over, even though some of us have customers, some of us has business partners, but we're all kind of starting over right now. And that's just my opinion. So those are a couple examples. Let's see, I'll give you one more example is Nicole Sommerfield. She was a sample. And so sometimes you might give 20 samples away and be like, I didn't get any customers. I sampled 20 people this month and I got 0 customers. Well, guess what? A lot of those customers are going to come back like a year or 2 years later and become customers, become business partners. So just because your sample ratio doesn't always look so great, you got to look at the long game with sampling too. But Nicole Sommerfield was a sample. I reached out to her and it just happened to be a timing thing. So I reached out to her with a sample and she wasn't really happy with the company she was with. She just was pretty new to network marketing too. But the current company she was with, it just wasn't really jiving with her. It just didn't feel like the right place to be. And so I handed her a sample and she said, oh, I like it. But then she's like, you know what? No, forget it. I'm not going to do this. I don't want to become a customer. I don't want to be a business partner. And I'm just like, darn, I kind of thought that I was like right there. And so then I just kept on dripping on her, liking her Facebook posts, commenting on her Facebook posts, and we're interacting a little bit because she's an amazing person that I want to be connected to, regardless if she's in my business or not. She's just good people. And then like a couple months later, I don't know if maybe it was only a couple weeks later or a couple months later, she's like, okay, yeah, actually I do want to do this. So she comes in, she gets a 500 pack. And then she reaches out to her like 4 closest friends right away. And they're like all new to network marketing too. They're just kind of dipping their toes in the water. They're all racing over to Nicole's house because the first person there gets to sign up first. And then the second person, and the third person, the fourth person. On the first day, she had, I think or the first couple of days, she had like 4 or 5 business partners. And she's got a lot of amazing people on her team, but just one that pops in my head off the top of my head is Chrissy Colburn. Nicole led me to Chrissy Colburn. Chrissy Colburn's going to be a future leader in this company, a future ambassador. She is just amazing. She's determined. She's not going to quit. She's not going to look at all the shiny objects. And if I didn't sample Nicole and I didn't be patient, if I didn't keep a dripping on her, then I wouldn't have met Chrissy Colburn. And so I just wanted to throw out a couple examples of how this is a marathon and not a sprint. So if you're new, I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope that you try this 24 months consistently starting right now. Because I feel like as we're coming out of the 2020 crap and the pandemic and things like that, this is a time where people are becoming more open. And people who are never open to network marketing before, you're going to see all these seeds that you've been planting, they're going to come to fruition. And so I would just start over right now and say, for 24 months, starting now, I'm going to show up. And everybody's numbers differently. I'm going to do, let's say, some people might say, I'm going to do the 4 steps with 15 people a month for 24 straight months. And I'm going to document them and I'm going to follow up. And you're going to have a massive business. And obviously, if you only have time to do 5 people a month, well, then it just might take you a little longer, but you're going to run into a guy like me who wants to work this business for the next 20 years, consistently, full time. And it's going to happen. Just keep on showing up 24 consecutive months. And like I said, you'll find evidence. If you're looking for evidence that this doesn't work, you're going to find it. If you're not doing personal growth, there was one note I put in here. What was it? There's you could go with like reading books and get coaching and invest in yourself, or you could go to like watch Netflix and watch the news. Who do you think is going to last in this business? Who do you think is going to break through to the next level? It's not going to be the Netflix and the news. I'm not saying never watch Netflix, but focus on the personal development at least a half hour a day, and you'll be happy that you did. So pay attention to your circle of influence. Try to find people who are where you want to go, people who are just at the next level, whether they have life experience or they're just super focused and motivated, because it is going to be a breath of fresh air, and it's really going to help you out on your journey if you find a circle of people, whether they join your business or not, people that are going to invite you and not cut you down and not drain you. You got to protect your energy. We only have so much energy in a day. And if you give in to all this mental trash, by the way, that mental trash will drain your energy. So take the mental trash, throw it away, and protect your energy. Some of us have kids, some of us have spouses, full-time jobs. We exercise, we got our happy company businesses. There's so many things that take our energy. So try to become more aware of what is taking your energy, like the mental trash. Get it out of your life. So the circle of influence is a big one. So I'll just give you, let's see what time we got. Yeah, we're at about an hour, so I'm gonna let you guys go, but hope this added value to you guys. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and hope you all have an amazing day. Does anybody have any questions right now? I don't know if Chris is still on, if you wanna stop the recording and I'll answer a few questions in case anybody has questions. And